Assalamu alaikum dear students, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to a new video. Today our topic of discussion is the echelon forms of matrices. We have three basic properties of the echelon form of matrices, and when any particular matrix follows all those properties, we said that this matrix is in echelon form. So first we will study what are those properties, and then we will take different examples and we will elaborate this concept. Number 1 says a matrix A whose order is m cross n is said to be in echelon form if it satisfies property number 1, all rows consisting of 0 only if exist appear below all non-zero rows. It means we suppose we have a matrix and it has entries 2, 3, 4, 7, 0, 9, 8, 5, 0, 0, 0 and 0. Right? So all rows consisting of zeros only. This is that row which consists of zeros only if exist. If it exists, it will appear below all the non-zero rows. This is a non-zero row, this is a non-zero row, and this row is appeared at the bottom. So this is property number 1. Let's move towards property number 2. So property number 2 says the first non-zero, which is also called leading element in each row, is 1. What does it mean? It means if we have a matrix and it has the entries 1, -1, 2, -3, then we have 0, 1, -1, 3, and we suppose we have 0, 0, 1 and -1. So it says the first non-zero leading element in each row is 1. This is the first non-zero and leading element and its value is 1. See here, this is a 0 element. This is non-zero element, first non-zero element in the row, and its value is 1. Moving towards the next one, this is a 0, this is a 0, this is first non-zero leading element and this is 1. So for the matrix to be in echelon form, this is a necessary condition that all the first non-zero, it means leading elements in each row, should be 1. Moving towards the last property. Okay, property number 3 says number of zeros occurring before the first non-zero element in each non-zero row is greater than the number of such zeros that appear in any preceding row. It means the number of zeros occurring, this is the number of zeros occurring before the first non-zero element. We suppose this is first non-zero element and it has a 0 before it. So the number of 0 in each row, in each non-zero row, is greater than the number of such zeros that appear in any preceding row. It means if this row has 1 0 before the first non-zero element, the other row will have more number of zeros than this preceding row. As you can see, this row has 1 0 and this row has 2 0. So we can say that this row has more number of zeros than the preceding row. So these are the three basic rules. Now let's take an example and understand this concept more easily. Okay, so this is example number 1 and we have to reduce this matrix in echelon form. Okay, so the first non-zero leading element in each row should be 1. It means first we have to bring 1 here. We cannot make 1 until or unless we cannot remove this 0 from here. If we remove this 0 from here, then chances are there that we can make 1 at this position. So first what we will do is we will interchange these two rows, interchanging R1 and R2. like this. So now we have a matrix. Now we will write R2 first. 2 minus 2, 4, 0. Now we will write R1. 0, 2, 8, minus 7. Then we have minus 3, 4, minus 2 and minus 5. Another advantage we get from here is that we get 0 at this position. Okay, so now next step is we want 1 here. So what we will do is the next operation we are going to use is multiplying 1 over 2 with R1 by 1 over 2 R1. It means we will multiply 1 over 2 with row 1. So what we will get is we have 1 over 2 with this first element. Then we have 1 over 2 with this minus 2. Then we have 1 over 2 with 4 and 1 over 2 with 0. Ultimately 0. Now we will write rest of the two rows as it is. So the answer will be, this will be cancelled out and we have 1. This will be cancelled out and we have minus 1. This will be 2 and 0. Rest of these two rows will be written as it is. This row has 1 0. So according to property number 3, the other one row should have more than 1 0 in its row, in this row, right? So we will make 0 here first. And how we can do it? We have to bring a change in R3. R3 plus 3 times R1. This is, we have R3 minus 3, 4, minus 2, minus 5. Now multiplying 3 with this R1. We have 3 minus 3, 6 and 0. Now the operation is of addition. So the third row is 0, 1, 4, minus 5 and rest of the two rows will be written as it is. Like this. So now let's see R2. The leading entry should be 1. It means just right after the 0 here should be 1. But 1 is in the third row. So we can replace R3 and R2. The operation is replacing R3 and R2. So this is equals to 1 minus 1, 2, 0 and replacing we have 0, 1, 4, minus 5, 0, 2, 8, minus 7. Right? So now one condition is left. The leading entry here is 1. The leading entry here is also 1. But the leading entry is not 1 here. Also, we have to make one other 0 in the third row. Because why? Because the number of zeros occurring before the first non-zero element in each row is greater than the number of such zeros that appear in any preceding row. So this row must have more than 1 0 and there is no leading element yet. So now we will make changing in the third row. Let's make 0 here. How we can make it? We wish to bring a change in R3. R3 plus minus 2 times R2. Let's see whether it works or not. So this is, we have R3, 0, 2, 8 and minus 7. Now multiply minus 2 with this R2. We have 0, minus 2, minus 8 and 10. Adding them, we have 0, 0, 0 and 3. So writing 0, 0, 0, 3 and writing the other two rows in the similar way. 1, -1, 2 and 0. So now the third row has more zeros than the second row, but there is still no leading element which is equals to 1. This is 3. We have to make it 1. How we can make it? By multiplying 1 over 3 with R3. So now we will multiply 1 over 3 with R3 and we have, first we will write first of the two rows. Now multiplying 1 over 3 with this row. So 1 over 3 multiplication with 0 will have 0 and 1 over 3 multiplication with 3, this is equals to 1. So now we will check whether all of the three properties are satisfied or not. Firstly, we have no such row which consists of all the zeros. It means the first condition is dismissed. Second one is all the leading elements should be 1. So this is the leading element 1, this is 1 and this is 1. And the last one is the number of zeros appearing in any non-zero row should be greater than the number of zeros in the preceding row. So this row has 1 0 and this row has 3 0. It means all the conditions are satisfied and this matrix is now said to be in echelon form. Let's practice another question. This is example number 2. The matrix is 2 3 -1 9, 1 -1 2 -3, 3 1 3 2. So the first operation we can do here is replacing R2 and R1, because in this way we will get 1 at the place of this 2, which means we will get the leading entry in the first row. So we have 1 -1 2 -3, 2 3 -1 9, 3 1 3 2. Right? So now the other task is to make 0 at this position. How we are gonna do this? The operation we used is R2, because we are bringing change in R2, plus now we will multiply -2 with row 1. So we have R2 2 3 -1 9 and now multiplying -2 with row 1. We have -2 2 -4 and 6. Now we have to add them. So this is the answer for row 2. 0 5 -5 15. This is row 1 and this is row 3. 3 1 3 2. Next what we are going to do is making 0 at this position. So how we can do it? R3 plus -3 times multiplication with R1. So R3 is 3 1 3 2. Now multiplying -3 with row 1. We have -3 3 -6 and 9. Now we have to add them. This is 0 4 -3 and 11. 0 4 -3 11. And no change in the other two rows yet. Okay, so next task is to make 1 at this position of 5, because 0 is, because this is the first non-zero element, the leading element, and it should be 1. So how we can get 1 here? By multiplying 1 over 5 with R2. If we multiply 1 over 5 with R2, we will get 1. This is equals to, first writing the first row. Now when we will multiply 1 over 5, we will get 0, 1, minus 1 and 3, because 5 3 times is 15. So we have 0, 4, minus 3 and 11. I hope the point is clear to you. Next, what we have to do is to make 0 at this position. Why? Because this preceding row has 1 0, so the very next row should have more than 1 0, right? And still we have no leading element 1 in this row. So first we will make 0 at this position of 4. So we can use R3 plus minus 4 times R2. Let's check. This is, we have R3, 0, 4, minus 3 and 11. Multiplying minus 4 with R2, we have 0, minus 4, 4 and minus 12. So adding them, we have 0, 0, 1 and minus 1. So 0, 0, 1 and minus 1. This is 0, 1, minus 1 and 3. So now we will check whether all the properties are satisfied or not. Yes, this row has 1 0 and the other row has more than 1 0. Third property is satisfied. All the leading entries are 1 and there is no such row which is all the way 0. If it exists, it must be at the bottom of the matrix. But we don't have any such row. So all other two properties are satisfied and we say that this matrix is in echelon form. So I hope you like this video. If you have any queries, you may ask in the comment section. Don't forget to give thumbs up to this video if you like it, and don't forget to subscribe and share my videos as well. Thank you very much.